What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Riverview. We've made it to May. We're going to be mowing grass, collecting our grass, seeing what else we might get into tonight. A couple really cool mods dropped today and yesterday. Additional game settings dropped yesterday. Personally, one of my must-have mods, if I were to have must-have mods. We're going to be configuring it, and I'm going to be talking about some of the settings later. If you don't know what additional game settings is, well, stick around. You'll know very, very soon. We also have Follow Me. That's right. Not follow you, follow me. Follow Me released today. It's a great mod for PC players. It's a great complement to other things like course play and auto drive, in my opinion, when you do want to actually do some farm work but you don't want to have to go over the field multiple times. Well, that's where Follow Me comes in. You just configure everybody to follow you around and do field work behind you. So you can run the mower and you can have a helper head the grass behind you, windrow the hay behind you, and then bale the hay behind you. So you do all that work in one simple pass. Additional game settings is not by GTX, nor is Follow Me. But Follow Me is one of those mods where I like to use it, but I often forget to add it until I'm in game, and then I say, oh, I could use Follow Me. Oh shoot, I don't have it added. And then, well, you know, then we don't stop playing because I'm streaming, and I don't like stopping streaming just to go and add a mod. So then I end up always forgetting to do it. All right, we'll get this guy. We'll get this guy running. We'll jump out. We'll jump out so we have the annoying little circle that I can't stand on screen. And let's take a look at additional game settings. We go to our settings screen and we have a new option, additional settings. We're going to go into here. And from here, we can turn the HUD on and off. There you go, no HUD. Our HUD's back. I like to turn the HUD on and off with console commands, but that's fine. You know, I really don't like this green interface. I want to go with something a little bit more mellow. So we're supposed to, mellow select. Ah, there, look, now our words are green, or blue. Whatever color that is. Probably not the best color. Let's go with white. Oh, there you look. Oh, high contrast for you. High contrast there. All right. Crosshair. Go away. Thank you. No more little circle in my face. Constantly annoying me. Can't stand it. We're going to go to partial. Because then when we get close... What the heck was that? Then if we have something like a hand, it'll show up. But otherwise, it's gone. Fade effect, yes. So I like the fade because I don't like the harsh cuts when I tab. Right? So let's go and add a fade. Of a half a second. Oh, isn't that just a little less dramatic? A little less tragic. I like it. Informational diagonal boxes, turn them off. Blinking warnings, turn them off. You know? Let me turn the warning off. See that? Please start the engine. I know what I'm doing. I don't need to be warned about it. There, now it's gone. Camera scrolling on edges, that's fine. Auto start. No, I don't want to automatically start. Yeah. Auto start means instead of getting to 100% and then having to click start when you're loading a save game, it just gets to 100% and jumps just straight into the game. You could change it so you only if you only like playing with base machinery, then you could just say default items. If you only like playing with mods, then you can say I only want to see mods in my shop. You're missing out on a lot of good stuff, but hey, you have that options. Right? So that's there. Custom lighting. I'm not going to mess with that because I'm colorblind, and therefore I'm not the best to be choosing custom lighting options. I like to do camera smoothness. We'll have to tweak these settings. Right? That's with smoothness on. That's with it turned off. I'm doing the same thing. Let me turn it back on. It just feels better to me. I like it. Player camera smoothness, that's when you're like, you know, walking around. Engine start. That's you just hit in, you hit accelerator, and it starts automatically. Camera collision off, yes. Everyone hates that. And that's all I'm going to change. I don't know why this is. We'll just turn it off for now. It's probably because of the ignition switch. Any rate, there we go. Additional camera settings. Or additional game settings. That's why I like it so much. And wow, look at that UI, the white. Right there, quit the desktop. C. Right. So if you're done playing, you hit save. And then instead of going quit to menu and then having to exit the menu, you can just say quit the desktop. And dumps you straight out to the desktop. After you've saved, of course. So many reasons why to like additional game settings. I don't know, what do you think? What do you think of the white UI? Is it easier to see for you all? Alright, later, David. Now, Easy Dev Controls, that is our good friend of the channel, GTX. Alright, there's the forage wagon. I have no idea what FS22 Blue is. Unless it's named FS22 Blue. See, there's just, it's all like, oh, there's 22. Really? No, I don't think so. No, easy to have controls isn't out. That's like the same. Ah! No, that's awful. But at any rate, yeah, you can change the color. I think there's already a mod out there let you change the HUD color. But you know what? The way I look at it is you can just combine all those into one. It's one less mod you got to have in your mod folder. One less potential for mod conflict. But I'm so glad to have the smoothing back. I'm so glad to have the camera fade back. And that stupid little circle gone. All make me very happy. Probably about as happy as everyone was when they found out that precision farming is coming back to Farming Simulator 25 in Q2. So look for it sometime in April to June time frame. Will it be exactly like the precision farming in FS22? Probably not. Because if I'm remembering correctly, Farm Sim 22's precision farming was not the same as Farm Sim 19's precision farming. So my guess is they will enhance it a bit more. What are we going to get? It's hard to tell. But I know that there are folks who are wishful thinking that we might get something related to true soil fertilization. So not only nitrogen, but also potassium and, well, it's NPK, sodium, nitrogen, no. I'm drawing a blank. All I can remember is it's NK something. All right, let's turn this on to grass to hay. Yes. $900,000 liters. Nice. It holds a lot more now. In one iteration of our farm production pack, it did not hold a whole lot. So there was a soil mod back in Farm Sim 15, and I think lots of folks who've been around since Farm Sim 15 really wish and really hope that at some point precision farming will be like the soil mod, because it really made a lot more depth of gameplay with respect to fertilizing your fields for the various crops, because different crops require different fertilization and not just different nitrogen levels. But there's other chemicals in there as well. That's exactly it. Blue type gaming, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. See, I might not remember it from memory, but I can remember it when I see it. So to expand on the fertilization, right? You have to add nitrogen to a certain level for specific crops. You have to have phosphorus to a certain level for specific crops. And of course, potassium. That would be great. Give the game a bit more depth. And of course, since it's precision farming, it's optional, right? You don't have to do it if you don't want to. It was already active. But we'll be back up there in a moment. Because this doesn't hold the greatest amount, but we don't want to overtax our tractor either. What's up, Donald? How's it going? What's up with the schedule? You get a new work schedule? Is it done? Is it a done deal? See, it's lit up. It's not shaded, so it's already active. So we're good. Not yet. When was it supposed to be this week? Thought it was supposed to be this week. Is this just your schedule, or is this changing everyone's schedule? Like, you're not just shifting over to a different shift. I do not want to try the potions you're brewing, Tuki. I can only imagine that they're going to be poisonous, toxic, and deadly. But I do like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I like the whole concept. I just don't have the time to slot it in now. Maybe we'll slot it in once we're done Baldur's Gate 3 or something. But from the reviews I'm reading or watching, it's pretty cool. And the world is very interactive and very reactive. And the fact that you basically have to cook your own potions, like literally cook them, is pretty neat. Now, folks, next week we might be live streaming on Monday. We will not be live streaming on Wednesday of next week, because next week I will be in Louisville, Kentucky at the National Farm and Machinery Show. And I'm really looking forward to it, and looking forward to meeting everyone that's able to come out to the show. I know there's going to be some folks coming out either for the entirety of the show or for just a day or two. So looking forward to meeting up with everybody. We'll be meeting up with David on Tuesday when I roll into town. So excited about that. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Of course, videos are hopefully, maybe, going to be coming out daily. I don't know, I can't commit because it's going to depend on, one, the quality of the hotel Wi-Fi and overall hotel internet bandwidth, and two, since I'm not there by myself, right, I've got people to entertain and you know, be with. So in years past, I've kind of done the show floor for about 2/3 of the day, and around mid-afternoon went back to the hotel and started piecing together the videos and such. Probably not going to do that this year, so it's going to come down to, I don't know how much time I'll have to actually piece together videos. So during the show, they may be few and far in between. I'm also thinking about trying to do some more short style videos where I shoot in vertical format, really short clips, and then upload via YouTube Shorts. But of course, that's going to be somewhat limited to either Wi-Fi and internet connectivity at the show, which is going to be absolutely abysmal. Because whenever you get, you know, 75,000 people, let's say, in one big building, your overall internet connectivity, cell signals, and everything just go to junk. I don't think you need a GoPro rig. You got a cell phone, don't you? That's what I use. I've recorded the hack stuff in the past with the cell phone. I recorded all of the National Farm Machine Show stuff with my cell phone. First year I went to National Farm Machine Show, I was all freehand. Second year I had a cell phone gimbal to make things a bit smoother. Also, 1.5 corrected the mower jumping problem. Right, you see we don't have the mower jumping. So folks that experienced the issue where the mower would hop and skip, that's now resolved. Mowers no longer hop, skip, and pick up tacks. It's hard to say, Donald, but they might go with the least senior having the choice, because maybe they figure they pay them less, and if they peeve off the people that have been there the longest, then they have the greatest chance of saving on labor. Oh, if you burn a potion, is it lose quality? Lose potency? You're gonna need lots of savior schnapps. I think that's pretty funny. In order to save the game, you've got to drink a potion, a savior schnapps, to allow the saving of games. Are you gonna go with a soldier build, a get out a free jail card build with speech, or stealth? Okay, so we're making hay. Literally making hay. Silage needs grass is going to be made silage. Okay, so we're making hay and silage. Doesn't seem like it. Hay, silage, straw. Alright, we have silage. Let's turn... Still have 0 liters. Alright, let's turn this off and on. Turn that off and on. 200 times 4,800. That's a lot. That's 960,000 liters of product per month. Well, I played a little bit of the original, and I was surprised at how much gameplay was the intro / tutorial. I didn't even have a clue. I was still in the intro tutorial until like the credits ran. I'm like, wait, what? Yeah, that was probably the most frustrating thing for me, was the little bit of combat I did get into. Mike, I'm fine. I don't need extra wide pickups. I don't need extra wide, extra high capacity things. Well, Donald, but from what I understand, with the world so dynamic, like word will get around that when you're around, people go missing, and then people start to get suspicious, and then next thing you know, you can't do anything because everyone's got a keen eye on you. Like, if you pickpocket somebody, or if you, let's say you're sneaking around someone's house and you take something from their house or from their barn, and if you're around just a little bit too many times when they find it out, hey, where's my thing gone off to? And you're always around people who find they're missing things, then you're going to be pinned on thievery. They're going to throw you into stockades. They're going to whip you. You could even get branded a thief, like with a brand. Or I'm just waiting to see how many hours it takes for Tukey to get executed. Because I assume that's an instant game over, right? Like, if you're swinging in the gallows. It depends on what you're wearing, right? So if you're trying to sweet talk a lady, but your outfit is covered in dung and blood, you're probably not sweet talking anybody that's worth sweet talking. You want to put on your most going to town outfit if you're going to be sweet talking to ladies. But if you're trying to strike up a bargain at the blacksmith, then you definitely don't want to be rolling in your going to town outfit. You want to show up in the worst stuff possible. So part of the tutorial is tossing in the stockade. That's so you know that, hey, you can be put in here. Yeah, I think you got what, like three clothing slots. And I like that you can go like to a blacksmith and like refine blacksmithing skills, and then you can repair your own weaponry. That just seems pretty cool. Alright, we're gonna have to take this guy back. See, smoothing? Right, that's what's smoothing on. That's what's smoothing off. Yeah, this is very story driven, right? I mean, it's an open world. You can go do other things, but ultimately there's a plot there. There's a story to be told and explored. What's up, Mr. Dio? How's it going? Desert Ox, how's it going? And you know what? This video is brought to you by Optimus and Lawrence Anderson. Thank you for being farm barons. Ravenhawk, what is up, sir? How's it going? Alright, let's check and see. Do we have silage here yet? Oh yeah, we got 59 silage bales in storage. So, Tookie, do you feel that you really need or should play the first game before diving into the second, if you never have? From the sounds of it, you really don't. From a story standpoint, I think they catch you up pretty good. And I was really impressed with the tutorial on the first game. So I feel probably you really don't need to experience the first game to really come up to speed on the UI or anything like that either. We're talking about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which released yesterday. And then they're talking about Kinchi, which is the name of another one. Is Sniper Elite Resistance, is that new, or is that a new title to the franchise? Or I've heard Sniper Elite, but I think it goes back a long way. Alright, we finally have some hay. I feel like we're making silage faster than we're making hay, though. Keep an eye on it. 7,000 and some odd liters of hay and 42,000 liters worth of silage. Whoa! Trailer got a little away from us. What's enlighten me, Chad. What's kimchi? It's the preserved food factory makes it, right? Is it like a lettuce cabbage thing? So we're just waiting for the kids to realize they can buy kimchi and get trippy. Well, look at that. Look at that. Farm Sim is expanding your horizons. You're being more cultured. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? Now, we talked a little bit about during the intro, and I don't think we've mentioned it since the credits have rolled, but all the news that came out yesterday about what's still to come in Q1 with respect to Farming Simulator. I'll pull up the infographic when we go and unload, but the new DLC, the prerequisite patch 1.6 for the new DLC. Silver Run Forest remastered, so brought up to FS25 standards. Another mystery map remastered. What other FS22 map could it be? Free content update, which is sure to include vehicles and implements and who knows what else. And then the biggest news, I think, of all of that is precision farming coming in Q2. And then it was pointed out that precision farming for FS22 released in April. So could we expect to see it in April of this year as well? I don't think it'll be Novska, no. I think it'll be one of the FS22 maps. Not an FS15 map. They'll leave that for mappers, for a modder to do. And it's going to either be Hope Belarun, Erlengrant, which I really think is going to be Erlengrant, or Elm Creek. Oh, people have a love affair with some of the most interesting maps. Like, why does... Oh, I mean, some of those maps, why do they keep coming back? So here we go. Year 1 Season Pass, first pack of the Year 1 Season Pass, Innovative Machinery, sometime coming in the next 2 months. Patch 1.6, Silver Run Forest Remastered, Content Update number 1, Farm Sim VR, and a second remastered map. Now, I really think this is Erlengrad. I think this is the cow barn. That's what I think that is. And then Precision Farming in Q2, right? Another patch, another content update, the second pack from the DLC, and more. Oh, you notice, look, oh, look, we can clip through now. It's so great. What's this, what's that other one? Starts with an H, doesn't it? It's like the FS13 map. Well, I think it's probably best. There's no harm in waiting to pick Hagen's. Yeah, that's it. No, not Hofbergman. Hofbergman is far too good to be a Giants map. And Hofbergman is reimagined every time. It's not just, oh, here's the same map again. I mean, with the way Giants take such creative liberties with respect to giving the DLC hints, there's no harm, no foul in waiting until the end of the Year 1 Season Pass to know what is included in all of it, to know if the value is there for you. Because we have several very cryptic hints, and then we know we've got probably an Irish UK map with who knows what types of machinery, what types of brands coming at the end of Q4. I've been also trying to rack my brain on if there has been any DLC maps released that haven't been released at some point in an open environment, right? So that we have things that are unlocked. And other than the horse map, I haven't been able to come up with any. What's up, Simper? Bjornholm, that's one that comes up a lot. Hagenstadt definitely comes up a lot. Giants maps aren't all that bad anymore. All right, now that we've unloaded a few loads more, let's see where we are with our grass, hay, and silage. Oh, it's jumped up 27,000. So we jumped up 20,000 liters there, 20,000 liters there. Okay, I'll give it. Looks like we've got equal production. So, yeah, in the year one season pass, right? Innovative machinery, that's Q1. Performance on plains and prairies, that's Q2. What could that be? The stars align, that's Q3. And then we have the new map, which looks great from this artistic rendering, right? An island, it's hilly, we've got stone walls and fences. Pretty easy guess there. We're talking UK, Ireland, Scotland, something like that. Britain. Oh. Thread the needle. I have no idea what you mean by Giants would let him. Did Giants send him like a restraining order saying that he was not permitted in any way to develop this Virgin Forest map? Seems kind of odd. Okay, so he just can't put it on the mod hub. He can release it however he wants outside the mod hub. I mean, there's a map like that in 17. I don't recall the name of it right now, but I really enjoyed that map in 17. Had signposts and everything. probably. They'll probably say no to meat processing on the mod hub, simply for the sake of their E for everyone. I mean, it affects consoles, for sure. But beyond that, it's not like they're out actively sending cease and desist notices to anybody that is making a butcher mod or a historical map. So I pulled some interesting numbers related to mods on the mod hub. Posted them in the Discord today, but basically we have, prior to today's release, so even with today's release of maybe a half dozen mods or so, the numbers are a little bit higher than they were, but as of yesterday, we'll say, there were over 700 mods released on the FS25 mod hub. That's less than 3 months post launch. So if we think about that, right, we've also had a 2-week shutdown. So while it may be 11 weeks post-launch, it's really only like 9 weeks or just over 2 months of actual working time. And have 700 mods released. If we ignore the 2-week break and we say, yeah, they have had 11 weeks. 11 working weeks. That's 63 and some odd mods per week to be released on average. Okay. There's definitely been weeks with FS22 that we've had more than 60 some mods released per week. But still, we're on track to have 63 mods released per week. If we assume a 3-year run for Farming Simulator 25, we are on track to have nearly 10,000 mods in the mod hub by the time FS25 is replaced. Okay? Now that number might not mean anything until we give a little bit of context. To date, mods are still being submitted, still being tested, and still being released for FS22. As of yesterday, because I haven't looked to see if there were any new FS22 mods released today, but as of yesterday, there were somewhere around 7,500 mods, give or take, you know, rounding to the nearest 100. 7,500 mods released for Farm Sim 22. So we're on track to have another 2,500 mods above that for 25. Farm Sim 19 had 5,500 mods released for its entire run. 5,500, 5,500. So we've 25% increased with our 22 mods over 19. Farm Sim 17 had something like 1,700 mods released. 1,700, just 1,700. So Farm Sim 19 was much more modded than 17. Farm Sim 15 had just 200 and some odd mods. Just 200 and some odd mods released for the entirety of Farm Sim 15's run on the mod hub. So we've well blown past Farm Sim 15 mod releases, and we're more than halfway or close to halfway to all the mods released in Farm Sim 17 in less than 3 months. And we'll be on track to release at least 25% more mods than Farm Sim 22's got released by the time 25 is done. And then you factor in that, hell, there's probably at least another 700 or more mods pending testing for Farm Sim 25. So if all those were released, assuming they all could be released, that would be darn close to being at the FS 17 mod level in 3 months versus an entire 2-year period. So we give QA a lot of crap and we shit on them a lot, but you know what, I think they've been working their tail off with crazy numbers of mods being submitted, and that's why things are so slow to come out. Is they're just inundated to the point where you could almost say, how could anyone have predicted the uptick from 22 to 25? Klein Howe is definitely the name in 17. Had images of the family at the farm, images around the forest, the Black Forest, I believe is its nickname. Forex map. Yeah, I could see where maybe he wouldn't want to release outside the mod hub just because it's going to get substantially less visibility. But if that's what you've got to do in order to tell the story you want to tell, then you got to decide, is the story you want to tell more important than just having a lot of eyeballs on a map? Now, Monday we put out a forestry map, backcountry. By the same folks that did the Yukon map in 22. Backcountry is their latest iteration of a map of that region. Lots of forestry, some mining themes going on, but unless there's mining mods out there from another source, Realistic Gaming Crew doesn't have any 425 yet. As long as you're still getting enjoyment out of Riverbend, then that's all that matters, right? As long as you're still enjoying yourself, that's all that matters. Well, keep checking out the map videos as we publish them, because at some point you will be ready to move on, and when you are ready to move on, then you'll have a good idea of where you want to go next. Tell you what, that pirate ship was quite a surprise build. Giants really hid that information from us all the way up to release, really, until we got early access to the game and built it out ourselves to see what it really was. Right? They called it a rope park, climbing park, something like that, which it kind of is, but isn't all the same. You don't need easy dev to cheat to build them. I didn't use easy dev controls to build mine. I opened up the map files from the base game. I saw the XML, all the various stages that the build goes through, and basically tabulated up all the different fill types and the quantities. And then I went into my save game and injected all those fill types, and then just fast forwarded time. Well, you can spawn money in right now. Just go to your console and GS money add, and you either enter and you get $10 million per shot, or you can just add, you know, that much, and now you have unlimited money. Or you just put a minus in front of it, and then you have not that much money. Alright, now we're back down to our, I believe, $51,000. Raxamelius, welcome. How's it going? Finally. Ravenhawk maybe stop at the bottom of the hill. Alright, well, While that's going, well, let's get this guy rolling. It's glad to hear you're doing fantastic. I want to see if I can pick this palette up now that I updated Easy Def, or not Easy Def, Universal Auto Load. Oh, I updated this. Updated this to the latest version. Now we got a UI menu. Oh. All right, let's see if it works now. UAL's been out for a while. Mr. Dio, just not on the Mod Hub. It's still in development. It's over at the map author's GitHub. It's going to work now. Pedro Martinez. There we go. All right. So, Universal Autoload is available right now here. Like I said, it's still in development, right? So some things may work, some things may not work. Go back to his GitHub from time to time and grab the latest version. I think the latest version was updated earlier today. At some point, he's going to be sending it to the Mod Hub. But I tried using it on Monday and it wasn't working for me. So I'm like, oh, maybe it's broke with 1.5. So that's why I updated it before the stream. We can see now he's got a lot going on there. Well, if you haven't played for 2 weeks, you're missing out on a lot, right? We have 1.5 patch. We have a hot fix. The manure is fixed. Mower jumping has been fixed. The game now builds its shader cache when you load the save game. Lots of other things have been fixed with 1.5. I was loading by hand on Monday because it wasn't working, and I wasn't going to stop and troubleshoot in the middle of a stream. Precision farming is coming in Q2. If you didn't check out the news from yesterday, I would, one, encourage you guys to check out my video posting about the state of the farm announcement yesterday, but we'll talk about it here. Giants made an announcement. Their state of the farm. They provided this infographic in their blog post. They provided it to creators like myself, partners, and ambassadors. What we can expect still to come in Q1, which is January through the end of March. So Q1, we still have the year one season pass first pack. The hint was innovative machinery. That's coming out sometime between now and the end of March. I think it's going to be coming out March 18th. That's when I think it's going to be coming out. March 18th. We'll see if I'm right or not. We also have the obligatory patch 1.6 that's part of the DLC. I think it's going to be coming out the week before, March 18th. We're going to be getting a free remastered Silver Run Forest, right? The Platinum expansion map from Farm Sim 22. We're going to be getting another, well, not another, but a free content update that's going to include vehicles, machinery, who knows what else, at some point in the next 2 months. Farm Sim VR, which we know about already. It's going to be released on February 28th. And then we have a second remastered map that's coming. It's blurred out here. I think this is Erlengrad. Is what I think it is. But I'm not sure. Right? Looky here, Q2. So Q2 is April through June. Precision farming. Precision farming for Farm Sim 25. Q2, April to June time frame. It was mentioned in my announcement video that Farm Sims 22 Precision Farming was released in April of 22. So could we see Precision Farming for 25 also released in April? Only time will tell, but it's coming soon to a farm sim near you. I think fish farming is a possibility. I mean, after all, we have a fish hatchery on Riverview Springs. It's just deco, but it sure is taking up an awful lot of space. JFK, the only thing I got from 22 when inquiring about mod contests was there wasn't any time to basically slot it in. I swear I told you to go roll. Like with everything else that they've got going on or had going on. That basically there wasn't a time frame. So the reason I think the DLC is going to be March 18th. I don't think Giants is going to release the DLC before Farm Sim VR, because I think they want the news cycle, the press releases. I think they want to focus on that. They don't want anything to detract from Farm Sim VR for MetaQuest. I feel we'll get the remastered map and the free content update before Farm Sim VR. I don't feel that those are super heavy news cycle press release worthies. I mean, there'll be a blog post and everything, but I don't think that'll detract from the launch of a new title in Farm Sim VR for MetaQuest. I think the week following Farm Sim VR's launch, the first week of March, I think we'll get an announcement of the new DLC. What is it? And that it releases on March 18th. That's 2 weeks before the release, and that gives then Giants 2 weeks to do fact sheet Fridays and provide us fact sheets on vehicles and implements that are included in the DLC, again before launch, and would give Giants a week to make sure that patch 1.6 is definitely going to be out for consoles ahead of the DLC launch, because it will no doubt have scripts and other things that are going to be needed for whatever innovative machinery is. So yeah, it's a little disappointing that it's locked behind the MetaQuest platform and it alone. But there are several partners who are hoping that in either a later content update or another farm sim down the road will include some of this interactivity and some of this VR support for the main title. Like, we've had head tracking in Farm Sim as far back as 17, if not further back. We've had Tobii eye tracking support in Farm Sim for Farm Sim 17 and possibly further on back. Why can we not have VR headset support, where if you put a headset on, then when you look left and right, your camera moves just like it would with head tracking, just like it does with eye tracking. That would go a long way for a lot of folks, just to be able to slap a VR headset on and get that VR driving experience, right? Being able to lean in and look at things, right? We don't need to hand stuff. The other thing would be, I would like to see interactivity like the going up to a fuel station, and then, so let's backstep a little bit. For various farm sims prior to 25, we've had a mod, or we've had support for something called IC, interactive controls. And typically when a vehicle supports IC, we have a key we can hit, like let's say left shift or right shift, whichever one's not bound. We'll just pretend it's right shift, where you can hit right shift, and when you do that, you get cursor mode. And when you get cursor mode, then you get a little cursor, and then I could get my cursor mode, and I have to click on this, and when I click on this, my emergency brake goes away. Or I click on this and drag it, or I click D to put it in drive, right? R to put in reverse, P to park. Right? That's what IC controls does. I think IC controls should be built in. And when we walk up to a vehicle, I think we should have the option, doesn't have to be mandatory. We should have the option of going into interactive mode and clicking on the door handle and have the door open. And then E, and we jump in the tractor. Go to interactive mode and look over and click on the door handle and shut the door. Look at the ignition switch, click on it, and it starts. And things like that. Should be optional, not mandatory. And while I don't think we need to have super in-depth greasing and maintenance of machines, being able to lightly simulate that is not that big of a deal, in my opinion, to where you could, before you go out and seed, you have to grease your seeder by maybe servicing the auto greaser, or maybe using a grease gun, using the hand tools mechanic to grease a couple points on the seeder to give one a little bit of simulation there. But again, we don't need to go hog wild and crazy. That's what I want to see come into the main title at some point. Lots of those things were shown off in the VR title, but of course with, you know, the VR hands and all that. And as long as it's optional, then it shouldn't matter. Farm sim, kind of, but not stupid to the level of it's just point-click simulator. Like I said, I don't need to find all 50 grease points on a seeder in order to do maintenance. Just a couple. And every 30 engine hours, you got to change the oil, which may just involve clicking on the oil pan, clicking on the oil filter, and then clicking on the oil fill point, and there you go. Like in Farm Sim VR, they showed you using your air wrench to take off, you know, a dozen lug nuts to then seemingly, change the tire configuration. Then you put on your dozen lug nuts once you're done. I don't need that. But if I wanted to change my tire configuration, I could see going into a bay, going into my vehicle shop, and basically hitting, let's say, the hub once to undo the lug nuts, and then selecting a tire from the menu, and not so much having to hand install it, but just get another level of interactivity. Because again, it's not going to be for everybody. But instead of just coming up here and hitting R, right, to fill this, I want to come over here. I want to hit my little hotkey button, right shift. I want to click on my handle, and then just like my hand tool, I now have the pump on my hand. I want to come over here and like get close enough to this, and then whammo, it's in the fuel tank. And then it's refueling. Then when it's done, I want to take it out and get it over here, and bam, it's back in there and we're done. As opposed to this. Right, Chad. In 17, you can do that because there were vehicles and implements that had IC controls built in. I very well know that there's a mod for that. There's plenty of other things that there's been mods for that are now built in. So I feel it could just be built in. All right, let's see what kind of production. What's here it is. Take that one. We'll take that one. And we'll take this one. Killer Roy, what's up? There you go. There you go, folks. There's your update. I've been telling folks that it's gone through a couple iterations of resubmit. And if all went well, hopefully it'd be this week. Sounds like if all is well, it will be later this week. I hope so, because I'm out of town most of next week. And I don't think I'm going to have an opportunity to do any map videos next week. Well, Mr. Dio, it's like the tractors that have the windows that open. I'll open the rear window and just leave it open. That's how we did a lot of farming when I was growing up. The rear window was always open so you could hear the machinery, right? If something broke, something started sounding weird, then you knew something was off. Well, you've done me a solid by providing me the release version, so I could, if it doesn't drop this week, I could go in and, oh, we've done this field before, I remember. I could go in this weekend and record the video and just have it canned for when it does drop next week. So I appreciate you sending me over the release version. I was able to drop those files in, not a problem. And yeah, we're working good. So we got the only way to get to field 30. Well, there's two ways to field 30. We could have continued around the bend and went in by the bottom of the map, but there's an access road over here. I was commending you on your bumpy roads on Monday. I don't think there's been another map released that's got as bumpy roads as you do here. Right? There's kind of a reason why I was driving on the grass. Oh! And then we hit a magical hedge. I do have a screenshot I need to send you. I didn't get an opportunity to beforehand. Oh, this thing needs fueling. So while I'm thinking, let me get that over to you. Otherwise, I'll forget. Like I always forget to add, follow me. What? Can I not? Drop this in here. All right. Now that we have that sent, how's everybody like my new UI color? Have you noticed? I mean, how close is that to becoming a reality? Of course, you know, with the giant backlog, you could have the next project almost ready for release or testing by the time they get around to testing the next one. Oh, it's listed as Walter Green. I thought it was a bit more higher contrast. I don't think I have that mod in. Like, I don't. You mean contract boost? I do have that. I can take it out and see what happens. All right, let's go refill this. And we'll get you started on the bigger grass field. I know folks say that when they roll their grass, it doesn't grow back, but I've only ever had that happen once. And I haven't been able to reproduce it. There is no GPS mod. GPS is built in. Right, that's one of those, there's a mod for that they actually finally built in. And it works pretty darn good. I mean, it's no substitute for an advanced worker like Courseplay. But is enhanced vehicle more like just steering lock? Or is it true GPS where you can, you know, adjust headlands and stuff? Or is it more or less just locking your steering on a specific heading? I don't know. I don't use it. But what I am super glad to have is now, as we've seen, additional game settings. We ran through this earlier, but to get rid of that, I can't stand the little circle. For 3 months, I've been staring at that little circle in the middle of the screen. It's gone. It's a great day. And come on. I like the fade on tabbing. It's less shocking, I think, to people when you tab around to have it just fade. Right. I love the smoothing. Camera smoothing. So when we're panning, it's not so jarring. I feel like maybe it's just not so jarring for me. Right? And the most important one, camera collision off. Having the thing zoom in and zoom out constantly, so freaking annoying. Oh, well, you know me, if I get stuck, I just chuck the tractor over the hedge. I have no idea what you are doing, tractor, but it does not feel like it's very efficient. At all. What are you doing? Well, we'll be shutting her down here in a few minutes as well. I gotta work tomorrow. And we're near our 2-hour limit anyway. Or what we shoot for as far as a limit. We'll probably finish these 3 fertilizing contracts just to close them out. Give the roller a little bit more time to work on the big grass field. Tell you what, I bought a 2022 car over the summer. It's got an automatic parking brake. It says it's annoying as all get out. If you park on any sort of an incline, like, it detects it and sets the parking brake and will not release the parking brake until you put it in gear and apply a little bit of pressure to the accelerator, and then it suddenly pops free. It's just so annoying. I don't even think I can turn it off. But I was thinking, like, in Farm Sim, do you really have a problem with vehicles just rolling away? With enhanced vehicle, can you really put it in park in neutral? Will it really roll away? So yeah, I'll have to take that mod out and see if that happens. Yeah, it's probably not available like that on a manual. Right, this is an automatic, and it's got the whole push button to shift gears, which I get a chuckle out, because like if you put it in park after it's in drive, if you listen, you can hear the mechanism in the transmission engage neutral, reverse, and park. You can hear it go through those clicks when you go from hitting D to P. Just like you would if you had an actual lever that you were moving and it was moving the, you know, all the mechanical bits. So now it's a push button, but the push button's moving a motor that's moving all the mechanical bits. I would take this over, but you can't see where you've already fertilized because that's what like precision farming with the dynamic HUD or the dynamic minimap. Can't wait for it. So you can actually see where you've been. There was a mod. I think it was in 17. Maybe it was in 19 and it just didn't come to 22. But there was a mod that basically did that with even with planting and field work in general. Like you could see where you've been because the little mini HUD updated as you were planting and plowing and cultivating and obviously fertilizing. I was a little disappointed that that never came to the next game, but then they introduced some of that kind of functionality with precision farming. I could see how it would lag in multiplayer for sure, as it's trying to sync all that data back, but then also keep up with what everyone else is doing. All right, that's done. Yeah, I like the bumpy road. They can slow you down a bit, but they also can jar your view around a lot, but they're fun. Yeah, we didn't get... I don't think we got precision farming in 17. I think it was a 19 thing. And then 22, and now confirmed 25. Q2, April to June. I've mentioned before that it was pointed out that precision farming came out in April of 22 for 22. So could we see it come out in April of 25 for 25? We'll have to see, because remember it was originally a project co-funded by John Deere Europe and the European Food something. I think it was also multi-game collaboration. I don't remember if it was just 2-game collaboration or if it was 3. Or if it was even defined the number of games collaboration. Oh, I didn't even know you mangled your English. I mean, American English is mangled already, right? So let me run down what we got going on for the rest of this week, over the weekend, and into next week. Tomorrow night, we're going to be just chilling, doing nothing. Unless Giants releases a map, maybe Riverview tomorrow. Then that changes all my plans, and we're doing a map video tomorrow night. So just keep an eye on the Mod Hub. If map or maps drop, then we will be working on those tomorrow night. Friday night, we are back over on our secondary channel, continuing our Friday night Wreckfest, where we just crash and bang into people for fun and get all of our weekly frustrations out on each other. It's all good fun. Everybody expects to be crashed by everybody. So when you get crashed, you just crash them back. And you know what? It's fun. So if you've got Wreckfest, we got room on the server. We'll take anyone and everyone. Explanation Discord, get a link to that. If you don't have Wreckfest, but you just like to watch people do stupid things in cars, then it's 2 hours of pure fun and enjoyment. That's over at the secondary channel, FK's Funhouse Explanation. FK's Funhouse, get a link to that. Saturday night, we'll be back over on the secondary channel doing a multiplayer Baldur's Gate 3 run on Tactician with Tukey, Jerry, and Simper, all from the Discord. And then on Sunday night, we continue our Sunday night convoy night in American Truck Sim, where we, well, whenever you get 2 or more people together, specifically guys, in a motor vehicle, race happens. So we basically race to deliver loads in as ludicrous a way as possible and try not to crash too much. But it does happen. That is on Sunday night. Monday night, we will probably be back Farm Sim here on the main channel. But I need to also pack, because Tuesday morning I am heading out of town to Louisville, Kentucky for a week, and I won't be back until Sunday. So there will be no Wednesday live stream next week. There will be no Friday live stream, Saturday live stream next week on the secondary channel, because I'll be at Louisville, Kentucky, covering the National Farm and Machine Show from Tuesday through Sunday. The show itself is Wednesday through Saturday. So keep an eye on this channel for uploads related to the National Farm and Machine Show sometime during that time frame. It's a great show if you happen to be anywhere as close to Louisville, Kentucky, and can make your way out to the show. It's definitely worth coming out, if anything, just to see how beastly and huge all of the current modern farm machinery really is. Because if you don't have a good sense of scale with Farm Sim, you don't really grasp how big some of this stuff is until you see it in real life. And realize that there are 6-foot tall people walking underneath without having to duck certain farm machinery because it's just that far off the ground. Or when you have full-grown adults sitting inside of a wheel well, like completely inside, legs, arms, shoulders, completely inside a wheel well. You get a big grasp of how big some of this machinery is, and a whole new appreciation for the scale of the machinery, the weight of the machinery, and why when you connect certain things to tractors, the front of the tractor goes up in the air because it's too small for as much weight as you put on the back. So that is going to be next week. And then we'll be back the following week for our regular content. Wreckfest 2 is coming out, and early access is in March. So I'm really eager to learn more about Wreckfest 2, what is included in early access, and we'll just have to see what's included in early access to make a decision on if we collectively want to do that or if we want to wait around. Oh, I don't have Beam NG, but I've seen it. I've heard about it. I know it's like ultra realistic, like physics modeling. And welcome to the channel, chat. Welcome to the channel. So that's everything that we got going on the rest of this week, over the weekend, and into next week. I'm going to try to pack most of my bags on Sunday and have everything pre-packed. I packed 2 bags. I packed the bag for, you know, your toiletries, your clothes, and all that, and then I've got a tech bag. Where I gotta pack everything else, like capture card and recording PC and capture PC, keyboard, mouse. Gotta make sure all my files are up to date for my mobile editing rig, but all that. So I gotta get that working. Might work on some of that tomorrow. I need to try to dig up my intro from last year's show and modify it. If not, I gotta make a whole new intro. I'm not looking forward to that. With that, folks, that concludes our 3 contracts. That concludes our live stream for the night. We are now a bit richer. Back to 84,000. I feel like we started at 85,000, and then we spent a fortune on maintenance. I need to add that mod that reduces maintenance costs is what I need to do. There's a reason why I don't maintain my vehicles. They cost too much. Too much. Hope you all enjoyed hanging out for the last couple hours. Keep an eye on the Giants Mod Hub again for the potential release this week of Riverview. That's, of course, the map we've been on. Monday and today. We also spent a good little time on it in December. We took a little bit of a break as it was going through testing and retesting and such in January. I know lots of folks are looking forward to this map's release. There are several maps that I did videos on last weekend, several 4X maps, so if you're into larger maps and you haven't checked out those videos, go check those out as well. And until next time, happy farming. Oh my God, I crashed.